Good morning, guys. This is our update from the next day after being at the Capitol yesterday. I don't know if I've properly introduced Adair. This is Adair. And so we were at the Capitol all day yesterday. We got there at 7:30 in the morning and we signed in, and we didn't get to testify until I think it was like 6 o'clock, right?
Yeah, after 6 p.m.
Yeah. And so we left, we took a break, and we were told that we would be able to, or that they were going to do everybody in the same order that they did during the day.
They don't tell you who's going to go, when you're going to go, whatever, and then when they call your name, you only have a few seconds to get up to the table. So they had an overflow room, and this is something you guys didn't get to see. They had an overflow room, and the overflow room was overflowed.
Yeah.
And
there were so many people.
There's people in the hallways, and it's almost I don't know if it's strategic or not. The way they staggered it, it's like you end up having to be there for into the wee hours of the morning. And they even told us, like, some of the security guys told us, oh yeah, last time it was like this, things didn't end till 6 in the morning. And we're like, oh wow, this is crazy. Like, yeah, you guys will probably end pretty late too. And so yeah, you don't know, and we ended up going at the very end, right before they did the switch. I think they did the switch to SB3 at what, 9?
I thought it was later than that, but yeah, maybe it was around 9.
Yeah, so they switched it pretty late, and so we were thinking, oh, it's going to be like 6 in the morning when we go up.
Yeah.
Because of how long it had been taking, and the testimonials are, again, the same kind of speed. They're pretty slow. And, go ahead, you say it.
No, it's okay.
So then we took a break, came back to the hotel, and they called our names, and we
missed it.
And we missed it.
Yeah. But the good thing about that
they went out of order. They went out of order.
From the last one.
They didn't go the same order. And yeah, I don't know if that's, if they do that on purpose or whatever, but...
Well, and there was a lot of people that were missing, and so even though we watched it all day, we watched it from our phones all day long, even though we were there, we watched like the live hearing. And so there were tons of people that were missing too, because not everybody can sit up there that amount of time. It's a Monday, first of all. People have to work, people have kids, people have all of these things. And even though it's extremely important, it's also extremely inconvenient for you to just sit there all day long and nobody know what's going on. You're just sitting there waiting.
And even our representatives, they had the opportunity to leave. I mean, at one point there was like 3 of them up there.
Yeah.
So they got the opportunity to leave, take their time, go eat, go take care of family stuff. And if you're not there, if you go and do the same things, right, then they just skip over you. They go, oh, okay, so-and-so voted against or stands against, and then they move on. And you don't get to get your spoken testimonial, and even if you come right after and you're like, oh hey, you skipped me, and they're like, oh sorry, you're passed.
Yeah.
So
you're just kind of held prisoner there, honestly. But it is what it is. Here's the good thing. The good thing is that we thought that both bills would be testified for at the same exact time, like they did for 1505 and SB3 before. And so that's what we planned on. We planned on having our testimonies for both bills at the same time, which we ended up having to edit throughout the day. As we were watching, we knew that there was like extra points where like, oh, we can say this, we can say that. And so we edited until literally our chance to go up there.
So we went up there. Yeah, because there's a lot of misinformation. Like they don't check you. They don't check to see if you're actually who you say you are, like when you register. I mean, you have to be using the Wi-Fi inside the Capitol in order to do it. But I could have, checked off like 1 million people if I wanted to, and just had their information and typed it in, and they wouldn't know.
Yeah, they wouldn't even know that you weren't there.
And so there's this kind of like ID verification that's missing there. That's a huge element that could be frauded there. But also when you're doing those kind of things, you're rushing and trying to think quickly, because there's so many people that are saying lies. And there was a chief from Allen, right, a police chief or something from Allen, that was just blatantly like just saying a bunch of stuff that he was talking technically about the cannabis plant or the hemp plant, and he didn't know. Like, he's not a scientist or anything, but he's like, yeah, this is what this does, and blah blah. And so there's all these lies that are presented to everybody, and they're having to take it as truths. And so unfortunately, while you're watching, you're like, hold on, let me adjust my speech because I'm going to combat what they said here, and I'm going to say this, and that. And so they're taking a lot of non-truths from non-experts in order to pass, legislation, and they don't have an easy job. But for this kind of thing, it's highly specific. Like, most people won't ever scratch the surface of what all this stuff does for your body and whatever. And Cassie's an expert, and she has courses and does all these things. She actually knows. She could actually be the one that can answer these questions, and they're not asking her. They're asking.
Yeah, and so I tried to put in. That's what I tried to put in my testimony. That's what I changed my testimony to, because I had something else written that was a little
spicier.
But throughout the day, I was noticing the same thing. Like, you have all of these, you're asking questions of people that don't know the answers to these questions. And I'm like, I know the answer to that question. And so I went up there more with the science of what I give you guys when you come into the store, more of the spiel, specifically what cannabinoids do and how you have an endocannabinoid system, all of the different things. But my premise is that hemp is what teacup is not. It is the lack of teacup, and that it makes up for a complete program, complete compassionate care, essentially. It doesn't matter. We turned in our testimony against SB 28 and SB 3 together whenever I handed in my packet. That's what those 4 pages, or it was you had to have 20 copies, but there were 4 pages of my personal testimony, your guys' testimony with your names and everything on it, and then the testimony against both of the bills. So we did actually speak against both bills. We just missed our 2-minute chance at SB3. It is what it is. But that doesn't mean we're not down, we're not out, we're going to continue doing this. We have an 8-hour trip home today, so I will be calling all of those representatives that were on the committee on my way home, and I will be calling them throughout the week as well, and you should too. Make sure that you're still fighting, because this isn't completely over yet. You still have to make your voices heard. You still have to send in your letters. You still need to speak to these representatives, because you never know. Your testimony might be the one that changes their mind. You never know. But the reality is we heard so many testimonies yesterday that were so powerful that I think that if they pass this bill or touch this bill in any way whatsoever, hi Robert. He just got out of the shower.
That's hubby.
If they pass any of these bills or they do anything with these bills, it was already set up from the start. There's no way that they heard all of that stuff yesterday. I mean, people testified from 8 o'clock in the morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, all the way until 9 o'clock on just SB 28. And then from 9 o'clock or whatever time it was until 2:30 in the morning on SB 3. There's no way that they should touch either of these bills with a 10-foot pole. If they do, then it was set up from the start. There's no way.
Yeah, agreed.
There's no way.
It's very compelling. There's
Very compelling. And a lot of kids, a lot of veterans, a lot of...
Oh, the kids broke my freaking heart.
I know.
Lord.
I know. They did so good.
Yeah, you would have never...
They were so good.
They were great.
And all of the people there were super nice, and everybody...
And well-behaved.
Yes, very well-behaved, very...
Professional.
Yes. Professionally dressed, they acted accordingly, they represented all of us very well. I'm super proud to have been part of that group. So anyway, this is our update for the next day. We're fixing to pack up and head out. And we will see you when we get back to Amarillo. Bye!